All right, guys, it's the Sameer40 podcast, episode 2. Our guest today, if you'd like to introduce himself, is.
I'm Quern. I'm the big megalodons, or King Jack, as you can call me.
No, very interesting character, very prolific nader. What if he one of the people that
Mm.
I definitely get annoyed on cues, but I can't hate the hustle, so. The first question I always ask everyone is what's the first game or video game you ever played or remembered playing as a child?
Uh, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies. I
Really?
played that when I was 3 years old. I saw my older brother playing it, and I was like, what that? And he's like, zombies. And I'm like, I want to play. And he put me on farm, and then that's like my favorite game of all time, Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2, yeah. I started playing a Black Ops 2 League play when I was like 12. That was definitely something that I played a lot. I mean, that just shows how old I am, bro. But Black Ops 2, definitely a good pick. If you one of the best games ever. Number 2, how is Georgia? And really, how is it like living outside the Atlanta metro area? You do despise it a lot. I've heard you talk about it a lot.
I do despise it because like whenever bands come to Georgia and they want to like on tours, they always go to Atlanta. That place is terrible
Yeah.
because like you can never the place is basically like run down most of the places where you can get like where you can actually get parking,
Hmm.
and it's expensive. The place just smells like weed and butthole, and I don't like that. And there's just it's not a good place. I would never want to live there.
Yeah.
And a lot of concerts, I'm just like, I might not even go to this because I don't want to go there.
Yeah, I mean, when I was driving in Atlanta, at least up there, it's definitely really annoying. It's oddly like metropolitan, which is kind of weird for like a southern area, but it does make sense. I mean, it's Atlanta. A lot of transplants kind of like move to Atlanta for better opportunities. But
Hmm.
what really makes it such an annoying place to live in? For me, I would argue the transplants, or is it really the lifestyle and the culture that Atlanta gives that makes it really just a hellhole for you personally?
Well, I've only experienced this whenever I go there because, contrary to popular belief, I don't live there.
That's what I'm just saying.
But I'd say it is, a lot of it is the culture there.
Hmm.
But, uh, I don't know. It's just like the whole place is not really like built up like other like you'd expect a big city to, like
Hmm.
where you got lots of corporations working to make the place better because they're just like, let's put more housing here. Let's just get more people, more people, more people, and there's already like I think over 1 million people living there.
Way more now. The metro area is fucking huge, man. It's actually unreal.
Mm.
Definitely a concerning infrastructure issue, if I had to say so myself. It's very reminiscent of Toronto, and we don't know how that turned out. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell
All
yeah.
right, you did ask about Georgia as a whole though.
Yeah, Georgia as a whole. Like, what really makes it like, what's like any good qualities about it? Sure, there has to be something that's good
From
about it.
from my experiences living up, well, for most of my life I've lived up like in the sticks and in North Georgia.
Hmm.
That that part I like it. It's
Hmm.
like that's where a lot of my family is,
Hmm.
and I like most of my family, so it just comes with like families tied to the place, and I like the place, like the way it's set up. It's not too many people there, not too many like big corporations. It's just kind of kind of small,
Yeah. It's like boring in a good way. Very peaceful. Just can't really hate on it. Yeah, that's pretty fair.
peaceful. That's the word.
Yeah, you definitely can say that. Talking about music, what is one genre of music you would love to remove and why? Please explain. We would love
Pop,
to hear it. Pop music?
pop music, pop
Just
music.
all of pop entirely.
Most of it, yeah.
Alright.
Like the stuff that's coming out now, like all the Taylor Swift and the
Slop, yeah. It is
Dua
slop.
Lipa and the yeah, all of that, because they're all industry plants. They're all just it all sounds the same. There's no real music to it. Like even pop music back before like 2000, it was still real instruments, real musicians, and now it's none of that.
It's very, at its
And
core, very soulful, which is something we kind of lack in the modern day like music industry. I mean, shoot, I got what a Sade poster there, so definitely a fan of
mhm.
some older stuff. There'd be some like sophisticated pop. It's pretty good, but that genre kind of died to me. I'll be honest, at least in the modern day. But talking more about PF because the viewers love PF and they can't let it go. A lot of PF rap moves, it was really based off metalcore, mainly due to Jackson. But do you think it really fits kind of like the PF frag movies that like metalcore was like the best genre of music to put in every video?
Uh, Honestly, it depends on the song. There's a certain like tempo and speed of song that works best for PF.
Hmm,
Because if you pick something that's like too fast, it's not gonna work. But
of
if you pick something
course.
that's too slow, I made that mistake in one of mine, and everyone's like, "Delete this video, bro. This shit."
Was it some Pearl Jam song? I think. I'm trying to
Yeah, it
remember.
was a Pearl Jam song.
Yeah, it's rough.
And it was the first song I found that fit the time frame,
Ah, classic. Yeah,
and I like that song, so I picked it.
of course.
But metalcore does work really well for PF, and I mostly use it.
Yeah, it's definitely a staple that I feel like we just will never let go. I feel like with PF rap movies, there always will be some sort of metalcore track. We'll always just like slap on it and just yeah.
Mhm.
Ugh. Talking more about
And
comp. What's up?
uh,
Uh,
honestly, and it's good music too. So
no, I still like metalcore to some degree. I'm pretty open to most genres. But let's see this. A lot of actually, what is the most annoying thing about PF comp? Truthfully, well, you say it's like the people like kind of acting weird. I mean, we got what Ghost of the Goon. We got like the Zreguses. Obviously, there was the person that started with an E. I won't say their name, but you get the point. Or just Paul Strop just being a complete god in the queues half the time and complaining about his teams being shit.
say the most annoying part is I don't know. I have a couple things. One of them is just the people who run it don't know what they're doing. Like the people running the build and people in charge of like moderation. They're not the best. Not the best they could do.
Yeah,
And I've been saying this for a couple weeks. I'm the most disrespected player in PFMM.
yeah.
I'll say this for a long time. If you search up my username in PFMM server, other than people just like saying, "Yeah, trade him," it's just all shit talk. Like I won't even be there, and someone will just be shit talking me. I'll be at work, someone will be shit talking me. I'll be asleep, someone will be shit talking me. I'll be at school, like my name and my dick is always in these people's mouths. So
That's what they're saying. That's what they're claiming. I think the biggest thing that I think was like kind of crazy was that they would kind of just talk shit on you because you were just like kind of a baiter. But like the way I view it is this: if you're so good at shooting and you're consistently good for two, I think it's fine to bait. I'm being so serious. If you're always good for a refrag, I think conceptually that's fine. I mean, that's just me though. And the biggest thing I thought was crazy though, I mean, I think with the build, definitely some of the developers are questionable, but I think they're open to feedback. At least Spezi's open to feedback. So really, if you want to just talk to them about it, I think be open to it. It's definitely a lot better compared to the Mandela guys. They were questionable, certainly.
the guy running Mandela was a pedophile.
Yeah, that's what they're actually. I did not know that, but that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that. That does make sense. Okay, next question. What is the most enjoyable thing about nades, and how the hell do you get? How do you really get good at it? I'm curious. Seriously, just
Okay.
telling it.
Most enjoyable thing about nades? Either you get a big nade on hill to save the game, or do like what me and Zudo do and just like dance around a corner with a nade and kill pulse drop or somebody.
Yeah, it's a classic.
And to get good at them, when I first joined comp, I had the worst aim the game has ever seen. So I was like, oh, and then I was like, I figured out. See this? I can put the nade on this, so I could imp slide around and just use nades instead of guns.
Yeah,
But now I can kind of shoot, so I can do both.
I think you're definitely a decent shooter. You make it out to be. You're definitely not a complete dog at shooting. I assure you on that.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that people forget about this game is that nades are such a good kill option that like literally it's one of the few games I could say you could if you're actually properly like reading the tempo, you could probably average like 10 to 15 nade kills easily every match, and that can just elevate your game so much. That's why any player advocates for being good at nades. Probably the worst naders of all time, if not the worst. But yeah,
I did the math. At least for my PFMM games, I average 12 nade kills per game.
Yeah, it's
I feel like it is more. Remember there was an elevation game yesterday. Mr. Lemonhead County said I had 22 nade kills.
it's
So I
unreal.
think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you wouldn't be like a top three player in my opinion about the nades if you really gave a shit, but you'd still be like a top 10 surely. I don't think the nades are the best thing about. I mean, no, I think you understand the game pretty well to where you'd still be fine without nades personally. But regardless
According
of
to
that,
Pulse Trap, I just play the game wrong, but that's it.
I mean, most people play the game wrong for being honest compared to like Nick or Build, so or Nick or Paul, so it's fine.
Mm.
But talking more about you and your team culture. According to most people,
Oh,
think you're a team cancer. When I played with you, I did not think you were a team cancer. But shed some light on that.
I do have who's saying I'm a team cancer?
General public,
Oh, okay.
the general public.
Well, I think I don't care if people think I'm a team cancer because I don't think I am. But I mean, on Team IHOP, that's like the best team I've been on. No one, I mean, Mr. Lemonade said I'm team cancer, but he's just. I don't take anything that dude says seriously. But like, there was never any talk about that while I was on that team. It was
Hmm.
just after because I mean, we won the season, but whatever. I think I'm a good like when it comes to matches like an MM I'll throw I'll like play up my like I'll get mad but it won't really matter that much when it comes to scrimmage matches I'll just turn all that off
Of
and
course.
just play the game and not care about like if I'm doing bad or if I'm dying to bullshit over and over again. It's just like I'm trying to win.
Of course. So is that way. I mean, I guess they can argue that you're a bit like flamboyant. You'll definitely save some like funny shit just out of banter,
Oh,
but like I don't think of it anything like crazy. It's just all like really for fun. We all just say stupid things just because. So yeah, definitely questionable. I think you're really in a team setting. I think you're fine. I mean, there's times you won't really calm much, but hey man, I'll take you over Dakota. So, at least in recent memory. Hey, he could change. I want Dakota to change personally, but I'm skeptical. But
Actually, my comms have improved.
definitely compared
According
to
to Nolan. According to Nolan.
that's a pretty fair vouch, yeah. The next question, talking more about real life. What do you think is the polar opposite of where you live right now? And would you live there for a year for $1 million?
The polar opposite of where I live right now.
Yep. Like, culturally. It doesn't have to be like geographically.
Mm, Probably. You mean like just in America or like the whole world?
It could be the whole world if you want. America's easier for you, probably.
Yeah,
But yeah.
America's easier because I haven't left. But in America, it would probably be New York City.
Yeah.
But the whole world, it would probably be like London or somewhere in Japan. Like
Yeah.
someplace that's just super super packed and just like a lot of the
Probably
same
Hong
type of
Kong.
people in one area or Hong Kong.
Hong Kong probably a better pick, yeah.
Would I live there for a year
For $1 million
for
bucks.
for $1 million?
Yep, $1 million.
New York City, I probably wouldn't survive for a year.
Yeah.
London, no. Japan, yeah. Or Hong Kong, whatever I said.
Hong Kong, yeah.
It's
They
like
speak
Japan and
English.
Hong Kong.
They do speak English in Hong Kong, so that's definitely a good
They
plus, yeah.
speak English?
Yeah.
I'd do that. I'd do that for $1 million.
Sounds fair. Sounds fair. Definitely, that's one thing that people forget about is Hong Kong was they were colonized by the British, and they did do a lot of that. Yeah,
Who wasn't colonized by the British?
that was a
At
good
some point?
point. That's a very good point. Oh, next question. More talking about Asia. How do you feel about Asia as a whole? I feel like the West we kind of forget about like they really did own a lot. They were definitely very cultural, like globally. That's one thing for sure, at least in recent memory.
Asia as a whole. I'm not gonna say nuke it or anything. I don't really have a problem with it. I don't really have a problem with it.
Of course.
There's some places that I'd say are more suited for humans than others.
Some are
Like
definitely less humane in a Western format. Yeah, you could definitely say that.
yeah, like I'd say India is less humane than like Japan or South Korea.
Hmm. would you argue it's like
Just
an
kind
infrastructure issue
of,
about India? Like if they had good infrastructure, they wouldn't be as bad, or how exactly? Because they are
good,
pretty horrible
good,
in that regard.
good infrastructure. Maybe I think there's just too many damn people there.
That is very
What's the
true.
what's the, what's the population of India? Isn't it like 1.7 billion?
It's the most populated country in the world now. It beat China.
It beat China. Well,
Yeah, it beat China.
good job, guys. No, I think in any place, China's a little easier because they have more land mass. India is, relatively speaking, not that big of a country compared to like America or hell Canada. You
Yeah,
can't have that many people in a country of that size and expect it to function like any other country
of
or any other
course.
first world country.
Very true. Very true. I feel like that's the thing with India that makes it such a funny country is that they have that many people. So you think with that many like laborers or whatever, they would be like kind of maybe ahead. No, not at all. Their infrastructure is horrifically bad given the population, and it's honestly kind of sad, really. But that's more South Asia in general. They're very underdeveloped. You could argue colonialism, but I think it's a mix of a lot of other factors. But that's really besides the point. The next question I have is, let's see here. Is the American dream dead, or did it not even exist to begin with? I feel like for me, I do not think that should exist to begin with, personally. Like, really looking at it.
The American dream being, is it like,
Kind of like, having freedom, having your own job,
oh,
having a nice upper middle class lifestyle with good money, good salary, good family, all of that.
I think the dream itself exists, but the attainability of it is not not very like realistic.
Yeah.
Because part of it, like the part of like having an upper middle class family with a good job, that's hard to come by, especially nowadays because people like people are losing jobs. Like there's the amount of positions that you have, or the number itself of positions is shrinking, or the number of people is increasing, and then you have like certain fields that are just like they're gonna be disappearing because of like AI, like stuff to do with computers and software and like building websites and shit. That's gonna be gone in 5 years, and then
Yeah,
that's like how many people do you think work in that? Like a couple million. They're
definitely.
just gonna be out of a job, and then I think is getting to the point where the American dream is starting to become like out of reach a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things where it's at least skeptical, but historically, at least in America, like that sort of idea of even having that sort of lifestyle really has never really been that insane. I mean, let's look at like back in like the 1900s. I mean, most people that immigrated to America just wanted to live like a normal factory job, decent wages. It kind of existed. It was a bit debatable. They were kind of mainly like slaves to like the factories, but it did kind of exist. Compared to like the 80s and now, it's definitely attainable, but the degree and the honestly the amount of luck acquired is definitely way higher now compared to where it is now. Like it's unreal, truly. And you could argue that even back then it was very questionable because most people didn't really live that great of a life, truthfully. I mean, at least living in America, we always care about freedom, right? It's like we live by. And that's kind of sad seeing people that like, come here legally, do the right things, and they still kind of get shafted because of really society as a whole just not really catering towards them. Actually, maybe want to talk about the next question being, what do you really truly feel about illegal immigration? Is it one of those things where you dislike it, but you can understand why they do it, or you just hate it entirely?
I dislike it. I think it's wrong, but I can understand why some people do it. That doesn't justify it, but there are reasons.
Yeah,
There are reasons why people do it.
mainly being escaping from a war-torn country, escaping from a Latin American country that pays you virtually nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
at its core, it's what we said, kind of like an infrastructure issue. It's truly sad that these type of people that really, I don't think they really want to leave their home country, have to leave because their home is just that bad. Truthfully,
Hmm.
it's insane. Talking more about America and as a whole, actually more about the tech industry because we did talk about that. How are you afraid of AI and truly like the tech industry as a whole and how it's gonna affect like more of the modern day like job market and job force?
I wouldn't say I'm afraid of it, but I am like I'm aware of what it could become and what could come of it if it becomes like more powerful than it should be. Because now it's just like I mean, it's getting to the point where you can make videos that look real. It's not completely there yet, but it almost is. And that's going to come to a point where like it will have a big effect on politics where you can just create things
Yeah.
that aren't real and you won't be able to tell like which is what's real, what's not. And then you can do that to make one side, one person look a certain way, and then like that can have an effect on the whole country when it comes to like who who you're voting for, who
Of
you're putting
course.
in power, just general stuff like that. But also like I said earlier about the jobs and AI being able to just like take people's jobs when it comes to like the tech industry and stuff regarding that. I think it's not a good thing.
Yeah. It's definitely concerning to say the least. I mean, it's one of those things that I feel like with like America, we really are kind of known for our corporations. That's like what we're kind of known for. A lot of like transplants from other countries kind of come to here thinking, oh, big money, big opportunities. When that's kind of being taken away or mainly being selective with AI, that sort of market dwindles. And I wouldn't say tech entirely is like dead, but it's definitely a lot harder to just like kind of hop into it. Your certifications, your actual criteria matters way more often than not. And really, that's like kind of the problem, right? Because as everything becomes more digital, we kind of have to rely on these sort of things. And that's really like the questionable part of America because we're in this transitional period where AI is kind of taking over and where honestly it seems like us as people we are not like as conducted the research as we were like say 40, 50 years ago. It's night and day, truthfully. Another question I was going to talk about off the dome. How do you feel about the modern day American voters? This is a pretty funny one.
The modern day voters as a
Yeah.
whole,
Yeah. It's a pretty good one.
the average voter is probably retarded.
Yeah, they're pretty idiotic. I don't really use that word, but it's a pretty good one. I mean, most people, more often than not, just forget to do basic research on whatever party, and that's kind of the inherent problem, right? If I was very big on like the first podcast with Conti saying, it's crazy for me saying this, but I do think we should somehow gatekeep basic voting. I'm so serious on this. 'Cause I don't think most people are qualified. I really don't believe that at all. And like, I don't know how you
I
fix
agree.
that. Truthfully, it's like
What is the requirement for being able to vote? Isn't it just like you need an ID?
you need an ID, you need to be above the age of 18. That's all it is. It's that
Needs to
simple.
be more.
I think honestly, 25 or 30 sounds more fair. 25 or 30, some sort of trade or vocational hobby at the very least, or at least like some sort of degree or trade. One of the two could be fine, you know. But really, just some sort of like also testing too could also help to prove that you know what you're talking about. The problem
I
is
think a
though,
test would still
yeah,
be good.
yeah, just some sort of like barrier of entry or just being that I think it's pretty nice. Because like it would also weed out people that just don't care about politics. It's like, oh, XYZ person just looks better. I'm gonna vote for that, instead of actually
Mm.
forming a proper opinion, which is kind of the problem I think with American politics.
Yeah, I think it's crazy how we live in an age where the information is more accessible than ever, but we're like doing the least amount of research
Yeah, it's
because it's just you can filter out what you don't want to see, and you can only get your news from one source or one or two sources, and it being from one side or another side, and you just like you take that. Is that confirmation bias? Is that what I'm thinking of?
yeah, and also like an echo chamber thing too. You're basically creating as
Echo
well.
chamber, yeah.
That as well.
Because
It's
yeah, if you live in an echo chamber and you don't speak with people who disagree with you, you don't find any common ground, and you just think it gets to the point where you think the other side is so like wrong and evil, so you stop having these conversations.
yeah,
You stop like getting somewhere because like yeah, you can have a disagreement with someone. That doesn't mean you can't like interact with them or live in the same area as them.
of course. I mean, shoot. I mean, I'm brown and I'm Muslim, and you're white and probably Christian. I don't give a shit. Your life is your life. My life is my life. I don't really care. Truthfully, it's one of those things where I think people kind of overreact a lot of times about basic things, and that if you believe in something, you can believe that thing. I might think you're a little questionable, but that's your life. I don't really care beyond that. Truthfully, I think that people caring about that much about political ideology, so at least in modern day America, it's pretty stupid. It's definitely
Mhm.
pretty idiotic. Talking
I
more.
like that you.
What's up?
Oh,
Go on.
I like that you don't care that much about like politics, like the politics of people who you play a Roblox game with that you just know on Discord. Because I'm the same way. It's like I'm never gonna talk to this person or meet this person in real life or get to know them other than a like Discord chat level. So it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, truthfully, that's kind of how I feel about it as well. That's why some people's opinions are definitely questionable, but really more Dakota, I think, is a bit heinous. I mean, the thing is with like capitalism or not capitalism, communism, that it's one of those things where I feel like it could only work if people are so intelligent and have no ego, but that is like not what humanity is, right? Historically,
Right.
like us as humans, we've always had some sort of ego or complex. It's just built in us.
Hmm.
So unless we can somehow neuter that, then I don't know how to feel about it. Truthfully, if we did, it seems fine, but I would be highly skeptical.
And on paper it seems great, but it has not worked once.
I don't think we're developed yet to even try that. Honestly, I
Nah,
don't.
don't try it.
Maybe in like 1,000 years, shit. Maybe then, maybe it could work. Yeah.
1,000 years, yeah, if we're still going, bro.
Man, shit, man. Without working, who knows? But another good question. Talking about more about the West Coast and really politics. If you had to describe the West Coast, or really like the Pacific Northwest, being like say Seattle, Washington State, in 5 words, what would it be?
It is really freaking gay. I don't know. That's what...
Gay conceptually being is very annoying or just odd or just unnatural. I'd say unnatural by a better word. Yeah.
unnatural could be a better word, but it's very homogenous, that area, because you have like,
That's true.
isn't Seattle like the most oh my god, I'm short circuiting. It's like the most liberal, like one of the most liberal cities in the whole country. Seattle,
100%.
Portland,
100%.
LA, San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yeah. They always are like that.
Hmm.
And like the big thing is too is like I don't know. Even as like a brown person, I don't think I would even want to go there because like they kind of view you like a weird like they still will like view you in a weird way because I feel like racism for like at least for like South Asian minority, it was just for both parties. I don't give a shit. I'm used to this fucking point. So for me, I don't feel much of a difference. So yeah, but it's definitely one of those regions where I feel like they kind of act a bit fake towards what they believe in. It's definitely questionable. And
Yeah, it's just so they put up an image because it makes them look better. Makes them look better than they are.
yeah. I think we talked about this with Conti's podcast where like really at least like the right in America won't really lie to your face say oh yeah we just hate Muslims because like for example
Yeah.
at least like the left will be like oh maybe we'll like them maybe they seem okay and then they like probably go to a mosque and see all that and they're frightened at people praying and like that's just a part of life. God forbid there's people that are a different race than you.
Yeah,
Truthfully.
I'd rather disagree with what you say and you say it straight to my face than lie about it and
Truthfully.
try and appeal to what you think I believe.
It's one of the things that I think as Americans we're kind of forgetting about that. We're acting like we're all buddy buddy. It's questionable, definitely
Mhm.
questionable. And talking more about religious faith, how do you really feel about religion in America? I mean, obviously we've been a lot. I mean, we allow like every religion, right? But we've always been kind of very Christian dominant or Protestant dominant. How do you feel about Islam and a lot of the other religions kind of like I guess not really invading, but kind of like converting more on the West. Do you think it's like kind of a problem, or it's all fine as long as they don't do stupid shit?
I think generally with most things it's fine as long as they don't do stupid shit.
Yeah,
But I feel like when you mix all of them together, some of them are not as compatible as others.
yeah,
Because if you just look, I don't think Christianity and Islam are very compatible.
that's a
Because because Christianity comes from Judaism,
course.
and Judaism and Islam are not compatible in any way. Like they've been fighting over this shit for thousands of years.
That is very true.
And if you take a branch of Judaism and try and mix it with Islam, you shouldn't expect anything like you shouldn't expect anything much more than what you see in the Middle East.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny that these sort of things like a lot of the scriptures, a lot of like I'd say like even like Islam or even like the Bible or the Quran, they generally like advocate for lack of violence more often than not. We actually read it,
Mhm.
but they really don't follow that at all.
Nope.
And that's the funniest thing about a lot of these Abrahamic religions, right? They more or less provoke, or at least advocate for peace. And if we really follow it to a T, I don't think a lot of this would really happen. But obviously, some people just don't care. I think Christians and like Islam people can like they can function at like a very like basic level, but after that,
Yeah,
it's
they
definitely
can function at a basic level, but not much more than that.
yeah. I do think that's more or less the case. I mean, I highly doubt people in the West are go, oh you Christian, you Christian, and it is viewed in a very negative way. I mean, that could happen for some definitely questionable immigrants, but for most people, I think it's kind of whatever because we do. Everyone has to be Americanized to some extent. But
Yeah.
talking more about modern day America, how do you feel about it? Is it off? Is it questionable? Is it great? I would lean on you saying questionable, giving your answers, but how do you feel about it?
I say it is questionable. It's far from great. Uh, I assume you're talking mainly about politics when it
And
comes to this.
even the greater scope of like living here, just quality of life,
Mm.
a lot of other things.
Quality of life, it definitely could be better because everything's too expensive, man.
That is true.
And then you see politics is getting out of hand with I'm just gonna say it, like the violence from one side that you don't really see from the other. But it's like it's not there are many problems.
Yeah.
And I'm not the one to ask about how to fix them because I don't know. I'm just gonna say I don't know how to fix any of this.
You are wrong.
It's just mhm. Because I'm not gonna try and act like I know what I'm talking about when I don't. Because I mean I have my opinions. I do some research, but it's not like super in depth. Like I'm reading tons of books and shit. I just think it's it's going down a path that's not very good. Because
Yeah.
if you look at from like the 70s and 80s, where it was easier to like have a family, live a life, have a stable job, it's just gone. It's gotten harder over time, and it's like the Gen Z is like the hardest, or like I forget the stat or what it's called. It's like Gen Z is the hardest generation to live in because stuff's the most expensive. There's the least amount of jobs. I don't know if that's part of it, but there are, like I said earlier, shrinking amounts of jobs, and it's a lot of the people up there in the power are not doing much of what needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing I think both parties can both. Really, I mean, most people living in America can agree. We don't really get enough funding, and it's one of those things where if you compare it to Europe, I mean, granted politically they're definitely a bit different, but they do care about amenities. Amenities are something I think in
Mhm.
Europe that's great. I wouldn't mind a bit more taxes to like the more wealthy. Be nice, I prefer that. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I kind of just question where we're headed. And with the violence thing too, I mean, if we're being honest with that sort of thing, it says more to volumes of how we're very questionable, how we're very emotional. But
Mhm.
violence in these sort of political spheres always exists because people are just kind of afraid of change, and sort of this sort of thing. And obviously, I don't mind like kind of protesting about it, but the weird thing about this is that most people will not listen unless something like some sort of horrible incident happens. I mean, the prime example being 9/11, right? I mean, didn't really care too much about the Middle East, and then hits America, and then George Bush says, "Oh well, we got to go to war now," and yeah, one of those things where we're definitely fueled off emotion more than anything now, and I think that's something we have to change very quickly if
Yeah,
we want to be proper in this world, at least in America.
yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like either. Man, talking about really more about the world, not even just America. What is the biggest problem in the world, at least to you, is like the most prevalent issue? What is the biggest problem do you think there is in the world? And do you have any ideas on how to fix it or at least how to address it at all?
I don't really have any ideas on how to fix it, but I think the most obvious answer is war
Oh, what was the issue
and
again? You cut
conflict.
out the issue.
Oh, war and
Yeah.
conflict
Hmm.
between countries because I mean you can look at it as like one side loses, one side wins. Nobody wins in war.
That is true. Historically.
Yeah, because you can have one side can be victorious, but they still lose because they lose a bunch of their citizens, and they lose like a bunch of resources and money. It's just for land that you sometimes don't get that much of. But good things can come of it, but there's a very heavy price that must be paid for war. Like
Yeah.
World War II, like they they got the Nazis out, but like what was it, like 40 to 60 million dead
Yeah,
across the world?
it was some ridiculous number, and you count the Holocaust and all that, and it's just a more metric, and it's really just one of those things where it's truly inhumane. But what can you do about it? It's one of those things where people just don't believe in one thing, and we can't just be unified. So chaos occurs. It's truly kind of like the downfall of mankind, if you want to argue that historically. Definitely one of the things.
Yep.
But really, more about other things now. Let's switch off the more troubling matters. What is one food? What is your favorite food? Living at least in Georgia. What's one thing you can never live about or never like not play about ever?
Steak. I
Steak.
love steak.
What kind?
It is just my favorite. It's a T-bone
T-bone.
because
Yeah.
you got the strip, you got the fillet. You just can't really go wrong with it. You go to a restaurant and get it. You go to the butcher, you get it. You cook it at home. It's just you're gonna have a good night if you're having a T-bone.
T-bones are lovely. I do agree with that. And let me guess, medium rare, surely.
Obviously,
Okay. See, that's the thing. Like
uh,
most
obviously
people,
medium.
for some reason, don't want to go medium rare. Like my mother, she loves going well done. I'm just like, I just look at her, it's so funny every time. Because like I don't know, it's like maybe it's like an ethnic thing, but most like people just don't like the blood. I'm like, it's really not that bad. Like it's whatever, and it's so fresh, obviously. So what's the problem? I don't know.
It's not even blood. It's just awesome steak juice.
That's what I mean. Like it's we're just overreacting. We're just being babies about it. Just shameless. But shoot, suck with the final question. And really my
Okay.
personal favorite. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Because you'll be what, 27? 26,
I
27?
will be. I'll be 26.
26. Where do you think you'll be?
10 years. Probably dead. No.
Yeah.
I hope. I hope I've got to figured out. I don't know what I want to do.
It's fair enough.
Hopefully, I've figured out like within the next year and a half what I want to do. Because I just want to do what makes the most money, where I can like have a family of my own.
Mm,
I don't really want to have kids,
fair enough.
but hopefully I just have a good house, good job, wife, lots of guitars.
Of course.
But where do I really see myself? Probably still trying to figure it out. Because I could probably get the job part because might not seem like it when I like the way I act on Discord. I have a pretty damn good work ethic. Like at my job, I've been working there for like 2 months. Already like considered one of the best and hardest workers there. So I think if I can just figure out what I want, I can probably get it. But it's just finding a something that I enjoy doing that will work.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the troubles with America, dude. Shit, like I'm what 23. I'm now just trying to get into like cybersecurity, and I think I'm doing okay at it. I always wanted to be like mainly like pure math and be like a math major, but you don't make fucking any money at that. And pure math, you kind of have to teach it, and I'm not that great of a professor. I want to be a good professor. I can already imagine it. But shit, man. I mean, you're young. Think about what you can do in the future. You seem fine to me. I mean, shit. When I was 16, I was a fucking bum, so I think it'd be all right. And that concludes the Sameer40 podcast. Do you have any last words or anything at all?
Stop calling me a nade crutch. I got 65 without nades yesterday. If I used nades, I would have got 90. But
Heard that.
see,
And I think you have something to say to Anton as well. Maybe something to Anton.
oh, what do I got to say to Anton?
All right, this is Sameer40 signing off. Peace, peace.